Hi everyone, my name is Sean Fowers. I'm a student with Weber State University doing a little bit of research with Mike Kokos on how we can produce all of the chords in a given scale. For those of you who work with music, you may know that there are literally thousands upon thousands of scales that we can work with. Typically in Western music we keep it pretty simple, work with major and minor scales, but if we kind of extend our feel into different cultures and different worlds, we've got blues scales, we've got different variations of minor scales, we've got all sorts of different things we can do. So we're going to present today a way that we can figure out what chords we can play in a given scale, and also a way that we can kind of figure out our own scales and figure out what chords are available if we decide to make up our own. Kind of go out of the box. So we're going to do this as easy as possible. First, we're going to start with one that is pretty typical in music, in the A minor scale. For those of you who play the keyboard, you may know it as simply all of the white notes, white keys on the keyboard, starting on the note A. We'll play it real quick. A minor scale. Now, what are the notes in an A minor scale? It's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. As you can see here, we've associated each note with a number, and those numbers are what we're going to use to figure out which chords are available in the scale. There's 7 different tones in the scale, so our first step to figure out all the chords is to arrange them kind of in a circle. So we're going to have 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each one is associated with the notes, so let's write down the names of all the notes. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now, real quickly, let's go over this. We have in any given octave 12 distinct tones. We've given each of those tones a numerical value, starting with A, 1, A sharp is 2, B is 3, C is 4, C sharp is 5. Those also go along with the other note that's associated with it. For example, D flat could be C sharp. So if you're working with a flat key, just substitute the names of the different notes there. So let's write down the numerical value for our notes in our little picture here. A is going to be 1, B is 3, C is 4, D is 6, E is 8, F is 9, and G finally is 11. Now, in order to figure out what chords are available, we need to understand a harmonic chord. Typically consists of certain intervals, and those intervals numerically are 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9 in the most basic sense. So we're going to use those intervals to draw a picture of all of the chords in our scale. First of all, what we do is look at the note, and we're going to figure out which of these notes are this distance away from that first note. So we take A, which is 1, and B, which is 3. The difference between those two is 2. 2 is not in our values of harmonic intervals, so we're not going to do anything with that. Look at A and C, and the difference is 3. 3 is a harmonic interval, so what we do is draw a line from A to C. Next, A to D, 6 and 1 is a difference of 5. So there's a line there, that's in our intervals. A and E is a difference of 7, that's included. A and F is a difference of 8, also included. And A and G is a difference of 10, which is not included in our intervals. So not doing anything with that one again. Next, we look at B. 3 and 4, 1, so it's not included. 3 and 6 is 3, so let's draw a line, difference of 3. 8 and 3 is 5, that's included. 9 and 3 is 6, not in our intervals. 3 and 11 is 8. And 3 and 1 is again 2, so don't have to do anything there. Next, 4 and 6, no. 4 and 8, that works. 4 and 9, that works. 4 and 11 is 7, so that works. And just to save time, once we've done these two notes, we don't need to check them again because we've already found the other intervals. So that'll save you time if you just start here and end at the G. Next is D, that's 2, no. 3, 5, we're done for D. E, interval of 1, no. 3 works. And F, interval of 2, so that's all we have. Those are our harmonic intervals and the relationship between the notes. Now, what we need to do to figure out what chords are available is simply to look at this picture and find a triangle. Any triangle in the picture represents a harmonic chord. So, for example, we can take a look at our notes A to C and E. That creates a completed triangle. So A, C, and E, we now see from our picture, is a harmonic chord in our A minor scale. Most of you probably already knew that, but hey, that's a concrete example. Next, let's pick a note. We'll say C, F, and A. Again, we see there's a completed triangle right there, so there's another one. C, F, and A. We could go on with this scale. There are 6 different harmonic intervals with this particular scale, but we're going to go on to some different examples because most of you probably already know this one. So, let's take a look at something that's a little bit more atypical in our Western music. We're going to look at the blues scale. 6-tone blues scale, and just for simplicity's sake, we're going to start all of these on A, but you may want to understand you can start these notes or these scales on any note and keep the same numerical values, and this whole process will work exactly the same. But let's do it on A. The notes in our blues scale are, well, we've got 6 of them, so draw our circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of lopsided. Let's make it look a little bit better. There we go. Alright, so writing down the names of the notes in the blues scale are A, C, D, D sharp, E, and G. Numerical values of those are 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 11. So now we've got our basic picture. We're going to go through the same process that we just did to figure out which harmonic chords are available in this scale. So 1 to 4, that's 3, good. 1 to 6 is 5, good. 1 to 7 is 6, 1 to 8 is 7, and 1 to 11 is 10. 4 to 6 is 2, 4 to 7 is 3, 4 to 8 is 4, and 4 to 11 is 7. 6 to 7 is 1, 6 to 8 is 2, 6 to 11 is 5. 7 to 8 is 1, 7 to 11 is 4, and 8 to 11 is 3. So, picture looks a little bit different in this case, but same rules apply, where we just simply find a triangle and that creates a chord. So let's take a look. We have, for example, E, G, and C. Typically, C, E, and G create one of our harmonic chords. Another triangle that I can see off the top of my head is C, D sharp, or E flat, C, D sharp, G, and let's see, what are some others? Those are the only two I see off the top of my head. So those are the two basic harmonic chords that we can find in that scale.
Usually for the blues scale here, we might include a sixth interval to get more chords in it, because it's more funky, more jazzy.
Yeah.
So if you wish to do that, you may actually include in your list of intervals there are 6, and that will create actually more chords with the blues scale.
Those of you who heard Mike in the background have heard our next step. Kind of, the blues is typically known as a jazzy scale, New Orleans jazz, all that stuff, and we may want to include a little bit jazzier intervals in certain situations. So in that case, as Mike said, we might want to include a 6 in our definition of harmonic intervals. Now that's going to change the look of our scales a little bit. Let's go back over these again and figure out which intervals are a sixth. So 6 would be 1 to 7. And that's all. So that simply added one line to our picture, but let's look at the new different chords that we can come up with. We have A, D sharp, C, that's a G. We want a C. We have, what else can we come up with? So that added.
We have ACE. That's not listed in there. ACE.
ACE. I think that's one we missed from earlier. That was already there. So that added again at least one new chord to our thing, and we have a total of 4 chords now.
A total of 4 chords in here.
Adds a little bit of jazz to the feel and a little bit of variety in what you can do with your scale.
So Sean, now in a nutshell, can you actually review this process again and tell us what to do? So you begin with a scale, and you basically draw a very nice diagram by drawing this, representing each note as a dot.
Of course.
And space them evenly, kind of, to produce a nice picture.
Of course. Let's come up with a random scale.
So
for
a random scale or mode would be for us just name a finite number of tones. So let's say just randomly, let's take some notes here.
Yeah. Let's take 6 tones. We're going to take 6 random tones and see what we come up with our own personal scale. Now each of you can do this with any number of tones, but I'm just going to pick some and see what we come up with. So let's start with A, because that's what we've been doing. A, we'll do B, C sharp, D sharp, F, and G sharp. So we'll take those as the tones of our scale and draw a little picture. 1, a little bit more complex than our last scale. A few of the different triangles that we can see, for example, A, C sharp, F. B, D sharp, G sharp. Let's see, what do we have? F, G sharp, C sharp, so C sharp, F, G sharp, and there might be others. I don't want to take the time to find all of them right now, but we found 3 different harmonic chords that we have in our own personal scale.
So the philosophy here is choose your own tones, create your own mode, and based on this very simple procedure, you can actually come up with all the harmonic chords of that particular scale.